Welcome back, fellow zombie fans and Marvel fans alike. This is Solid Dave Snake, and the day before Halloween, we are going over some of these Marvel Select zombie villain action figures. And we had previously went over the Sabretooth review, the Zombie Sabretooth review. I'll have a link in the description below if you haven't checked it out. Go ahead and check him out too. But in this review, we're going to take a look at Zombie Magneto. And I'm going to put Sabretooth to the side here, and we'll pull Zombie Magneto up and let you get a good look at him in packaging before we pop him open. And I love this figure. I don't know which one I like more. They're both great. Of course, we have the Zombie Magneto in the bubble plastic here with a big M logo for Magneto and a Zombie Magneto face in the background, which looks really good. And of course, his name readout on the side here. And we'll get up close and go over the rest of the packaging. Give you a good look at him up close here before we flip it around. Can't wait to get this one open. He looks gruesome. And he comes with a display piece as well, just like the Zombie Sabretooth. And on the side, we have a really nasty piece of artwork of this Zombie Magneto. Great depiction of his character in that comic. And then on the back, we have the figure displayed and other Marvel Select figures down below. And this figure came out a year before the Sabretooth zombie action figure. So that is why the Zombie Sabretooth is not shown on the back like the Magneto was shown with the Sabretooth. But I'm going to scroll down the readout here if you want to pause it at any point to read. You'll be able to. So, really cool packaging, but let's crack this open and get a closer look at this Zombie Magneto. Alright, we got Zombie Magneto out of his packaging now. And check this out. His helmet is removable. That is really cool. Alright, so I'm loving this Zombie Magneto. I don't know if as much as the Zombie Sabretooth, but this Zombie Magneto has a lot of personality and is vastly different from the actual original Magneto Marvel Select action figure. Of course, the same costume design, but completely different mold. Looks a lot more drawn out and decrepit, and of course just total overall different look for Magneto here, of course. But let's pull the old one to the side here and give you a great look at this Zombie Magneto from head to toe. And he does come with a base stand, which follows suit with Sabretooth's base stand. They both have pieces of the Green Goblin that got tore apart. And this one's a lot more basic than Sabretooth. It's actually a lot thinner as well. And once again, there are no pegs on this stand, even though the figure has peg holes in the bottom of his feet. So I take it you kind of have to use the Green Goblin's pumpkin bomb here as a little peg for his feet. But even that doesn't work that well. He pretty much only stands on it good whenever it's flat. But nothing too exciting with that. So let's get back to Zombie Magneto here. And like I showed, his helmet is removable, which was perfect for this Zombie Magneto. The original Magneto release, the helmet was not removable. There was actually a variant with Eric just having his regular head without the helmet. So you'd have to buy two figures to get Magneto without the helmet before. Let me keep that off and I'll show you the great detail on this face. Kind of reminds me of the Crypt Keeper a little bit. Pretty much just a skull, with only having his left eyeball, right missing, nose off so you can see inside that nose cavity, and his teeth are all kinds of busted up, missing a lot of teeth on the front upper side there. And on the side and back there's not a lot of detail, but you don't really need any, since it is just a skull, and it allows the actual helmet to fit on real nice. So that turned out well. Really like that head sculpt. And although Magneto's costume is red, there is paint variation on all these spots where the muscle and tissue and everything is exposed. Now it is minor, so it may be hard to tell from a distance, but up close you can tell. There is a slight paint variation. But this does not help the detail pop out like it did on the Sabretooth, since the costume is red. And his biggest wound is right in the center of his stomach. The comics, Cyclops blasted a hole all the way through him. You can even see the lower portion of his spine back there. Although this utility belt kind of gets in the way of the detail. It is pliable, so I can lift it up a little bit to show you. And the hole actually continues on the back half. If I can lift up his cape enough, you can see exits right here. You even have some exposed muscle in the back. And his cape has a blast hole in it as well, so they went all the way through with that Cyclops blast design. I like that. And his cape back here is a lot softer material than the rest of the figure, so it is a little pliable and has a great sculpt to it, and the rips look really good in it. And it attaches right up here. And I love the way they weathered his collar. It holds his cape. It looks real good. Get a better look at his arms here. There's gore detail all throughout his bicep and down on his forearm. His right hand is in a fist. And then his left hand is in kind of his power pose. Give you a better look at this arm. A lot of little damage detail all through this figure. And even down on his thigh. See all the tendons coming apart. And one of the neatest things on this action figure is his left leg. It's really tore apart down to the point where the bone is exposed at the knee joint. And that just looks gruesome all the way down. Great detail on that. And it does make this left leg a lot weaker, being so skinny right here at that knee joint. Now, for articulation, he is a lot different than the Sabretooth. He does not have that updated leg and hip articulation, but his head is on a ball joint, which you can get him to rotate all the way around and look only that far down and that far up, so not much movement up and down. His shoulders are on a ball joint and hinge, which will go up to about 90 degrees and spin all the way around. Single hinge at the elbows, so go that far up and back straight, no rotation, and there's only a cut at the wrist. You can rotate on both sides all the way around. And at the hips here, he just has this ball joint and hinge, which will only allow you to kick out that far and will not allow you to kick up at all unless you twist it to the side and get that hinge on that point, where then you can't bend the knee correctly, so it just looks awkward. So not too good of articulation there, a lot better on the Sabertooth, but he does have double jointed knees, but you can get really far up, maybe even further up on this side because of the skeleton. There we go, pretty far up on that side. And he does have a hinge on both ankles. And ankle pivot as well, which I was surprised to see on this figure. So I think I like the Sabertooth zombie a little better, but this Magneto has a lot of personality and a really unique look to himself. And I'll compare them side by side here. I'll let you see both zombie villains in this collection so far. And I think they look really good together. Get a focus in here. And leave you with this picture of zombie Magneto and zombie Sabertooth. And I'm very interested to see which villain they're going to add to this zombie collection next. So, alright guys, have a great Halloween, and I will see you guys later.